Okay, Dave Glovin, Boogie with the Bull 3.0. I don't know if all of the details made it to you, but I'm going to call this, have you heard what the Democrats have said during the Schumer shutdown? The party will not end the shutdown short of planes falling out of the sky. Meaning that it would take planes falling out of the sky for the Democrat Party to decide that we will end the shutdown. What the hell is wrong with these people? Shut down the Senate over this whole thing. Over the fact that 7 Democrats won't pull their heads out of their rectums and pass the clean bill, the clean continuing resolution, which allows the government to operate. I call on President Trump to strip all non-essential programs out of the federal government. And right now, the Democrats are proving that the legislative branch should be shut down, not paid, sent home, sent somewhere. I don't know. I don't care. I don't want to hear anymore that they can't afford to do that because, like Bernie Sanders said, we have young people working here in the Senate and they have families they need to support and we can't shut them down. Bullshit. The people who sent you to Washington, D.C. aren't getting paid to do their jobs. You shouldn't either because you're not doing your job. We either need to figure out a way that the United States government operates without the legislative branch, which we have done, or people need to get off of their asses, break some bread, and realize what they can agree on right away and what they can't agree on right away. And like Caroline Levitt said earlier this morning, get the government back together and then go off somewhere and deal with whatever games you want to play. People's lives are at stake right now. This is absolutely ridiculous. We will wait until planes fall out of the sky before we budge. Who the hello do they think they are? And John Fetterman, embrace your Republican views. And hopefully you'll find 6 more that will embrace theirs and they'll pass the continuing resolution. And then I hope we fire the entire Democrat Party because that is the stupidest thing I have ever heard anybody say. The party will not deal with the shutdown short of planes falling out of the sky. What the hell is wrong with you people? I could say things, but I get kicked off of social media for saying them, so I won't say them. But I mean, that is the stupidest thing I have ever heard in my 4 years of doing this. We won't do anything until planes fall out of the sky. You're not doing anything right now, so why are we waiting for planes to fall out of the sky? You're not dealing with this problem. We need to rewrite our government, including the legislative branch. We need to have a backup plan like we do. We have a president who is going off and doing what he can. WIC is being saved for women, infants, and children. SNAP benefits are still getting paid to people who need food. And you know what? You may lose your health care because grown men and women can't figure out how to pull their heads out of their rectums and take care of you. We knew, everybody knew, the government knew, we knew the subsidies would end because they were scheduled to end this year. And the Democrats are holding work up on that. You don't say, hey, we need $1.5 trillion from you for 7 votes. $1.7 trillion that we control, and we can do whatever the hell we want with it. Who the hell do you think you are? Get yourselves to the floor. Sign the damn continuing resolution. Sign it clean. No more hearing, oh, well, when I was Senate Majority Leader, we did it 13 times. They got something they wanted. We got something we wanted. American citizens want the damn continuing resolution and the government reopened. Then you buttholes can go do whatever the hell you want to do, wherever you want to go sit and go do it. Because in November, we're going to end up dealing with this all again. So again, as I've said previously today, pass and maintain fiscal one-year bills. And if you can't do it, get the hell out of the way. Warren Buffett said it best. If it's more than 3% inflation, you guys are out of business, not getting paid until you finish it and figure out how to get it back. Our government is really a mess. Fortunately, we have a president who's getting rid of the non-essential programs and working on the essential programs. I don't know if we've had a president that has done that before, short of Ronald Reagan. But President Trump got elected, and he said your income tax will be on a postcard. You'll be able to fill it out. Well, you know what? I personally think the income tax should be torn up and ripped apart. They want to tax you on everything they do, but they're responsible for nothing that you do. Public schools are messed up. You can't get gas for $2 a gallon. Grocery store prices are out of control. And even if they're not out of control, you can't always find what you need anyway. And my hand keeps going like that because that's how mad I am on 3.0. Today. I really wish sometimes there were people with me to go off and talk about how bad it really is and how bad our government just doesn't understand. We won't do anything until planes fall out of the sky. Makes you want to go up there and vote out every single one of those Democrats. Fire Chuck, impeach them all. It's time for men and women that are grown men and women to pull their heads out of their rectums and realize that people are hurting around the country. People that are dependent on their paychecks, people who are dependent on their food, people who are dependent on health care. Okay? We knew the subsidies were going to end, and you guys were going to have to talk about it and see what you could work out. This is really a good time for the insurance companies to realize where we are and just bring prices down. Help people. Help the citizens of this country. I'm not talking about the illegal immigrants and what they may or may not get. I'm not concerned with it. They shouldn't get anything because they're illegal. They should get a free ticket on a plane to go anywhere they want to go. If you're here illegally and you've been here illegally long enough to have children who are now adults, you've been here too long. And we need to deal with you somehow to bring you out of the shadows. If you're here illegally and you can't speak English, you can't write English, you can't read English, you have no business behind the wheel of a truck. You can't read street signs, you don't know where you are, this, that, the other thing, you're going to do something wrong. You don't have a driver's license, you do not belong behind the wheel of a truck. Period. 60,000 pounds of killing machine. You do not need to be behind the wheel unless you know what you're doing and you speak, read, and understand the language of this country. Period. That's how it goes. You don't belong behind the wheel of a train. You don't belong behind the wheel of anything if you don't understand what you are doing. Because in the country that you came from, you couldn't get a job if you didn't read, write, and speak the language. We have a right to do that here. Protect the citizens of this country, whether you're illegal or not. Should be protected from you. It's that simple. I don't know why I'm getting so mad today, but I'm getting so mad because I'm hearing stupid things. The party, the Democrat Party, will not do anything short of planes falling out of the sky. That means we have to the point of stupidity, to where stupidity needs to be fixed right now. You don't want to do anything until planes fall out of the sky. You shouldn't get paid until planes fall out of the sky. And God forbid planes actually do fall out of the sky. We're going to hurt more people in ways that we don't even want to talk about because you don't want to do anything. If you don't want to do anything, then go get another job. My God, the party won't do anything until planes fall out of the sky. That is the stupidest thing I have ever heard from someone in a position to help fix this country. Pass the clean resolution. Clean. The House did it. The Senate can do it. The president wants to sign it. Reopen the government, and then, like I said, go sit in a room and do whatever you need to do to pass legislation. Healthcare, even people in the country should pay the least amount of money they have to pay for it. Period. Period. And if you're illegal in this country, you should become legal in this country. And if you can't, well, then, hey, you need to hop a plane and go wherever you want to go. Really. And on that note, that's about all I had to say. That's about 15 minutes anyway. This Boogie with the Bull has come to an end, and maybe I'll be back later today. Maybe I won't. 8:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. Well, actually, it's turning into that, but 8:30 a.m. Eastern, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is when we're here. Maybe a few more times a day than just 8:30, and we're here also on selected Saturdays and selected Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, and selected evenings Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Maybe we need to spend more time here, find more people, because I'm sure there are people that feel the same way. Whoops, we didn't turn on the live chat, so I can't read it. Real Cat Turd, my friend, and close advisor, because I don't know everything about doing what I do, and I've done this for 4 years. I'm trying to get Cat Turd to do a broadcast with me, so if you know Real Cat Turd, you should tell him we should do it. Could you imagine me and the cat having a discussion right now about all this crazy stuff? Because the craziest thing I have ever heard is we won't do anything short of planes falling out of the sky. I would take my Boogie with the Bull duffel bag, if I could, and I would drive around the country right now and show our government how stupid people think they are with a stupid comment like that. If you are going to wait until planes fall out of the sky, get the hell out of the office that you hold, and do not, repeat, do not take any more paychecks, because you don't deserve them with something stupid like that. I heard it watching Mark Kay this morning, who I really like. He's funny, he's entertaining, but listening to Carolyn Levitt say that from this morning's press conference, just becoming Boogie with the Bull crap, as far as I'm concerned, and I've had enough. You want to put the people of the United States of America, whether they're here legally or illegally, at risk because you're not going to do anything short of planes falling out of the sky. Who the hell do you think you are? Really? Who the hell do you think you are? 17 minutes, and I was only going to try for 15 and then shut it off. But I'm really ticked off. I am really ticked off. And I know my fellow Americans are really ticked off. Stop going after John Fetterman for doing whatever he's going to do, because he seems to be on the right side of doing things that need to get done right now. I don't care if he's a Republican or a Democrat. I think he's showing signs of really being a Republican. He did say that everyone in his family is a Republican. And I think it's a lot easier to be a quote-unquote liberal Republican than it is to be a conservative Democrat. He's talking about things that really need to get done. Talking about he may be primaried in the next election by his own party. Well, if you're going to be primaried in the next election by your own party, run against that party. And if you don't want to be a Republican, call yourself an independent and then side with whoever you want. But you know what? I'm tired of all these diversions every day, all these stupid things that get said every day. Gonna wait for a plane to fall out of the sky before you do something. Your job is to make sure that plane doesn't fall out of the sky. Hire the people to make sure that plane doesn't fall out of the sky. Not risk that plane falling out of the sky. Good friends of mine on Facebook depend on planes to make their living. And I wouldn't ask them to get on a plane that I wouldn't fly on myself. But if people in my government that represent me are saying we won't do anything until planes fall out of the sky, well, that tells me at some point planes are going to start falling out of the sky. And if you're afraid of that, make sure you figure out another way to go wherever you need to go. I am just ticked off, and I know you are ticked off, and I feel your pain. For me, they haven't taken care of programs that I need yet. They haven't shut them off yet. But we should continue to get paid while those people in Washington, D.C. can't get their heads out of their own rectums long enough to figure out what the hell is going on. The House does not need to come back and do anything. They passed a clean, continuing resolution. They sent it to the Senate expecting that they were going to sign it. And then it was going to go to the president, who's been waiting to sign it. And the government was going to reopen, and maybe we would have lost a day or two, a few days. But, we need to completely figure out the legislative branch. No one in the legislative branch should have the audacity to think they have the right to shut down the government. Chuck Schumer walking around the country telling people, well, if I can't control $1.5 trillion of money for you, then I'm just going to keep your government from doing anything. But to me, that means you should never control that $1.5 trillion of taxpayer money anyway. And people, stop getting your panties all ripped up or torn or whatever in a bunch, whatever you want to call it, over the big, beautiful ballroom being built at the White House. Donald Trump is the only president in 150 years that has experience as a real estate developer. He knows what he's doing. There are committees and other agencies all involved in what has to be done if you're building something at the White House that's permanent. And he's on top of it. And like I said earlier, if the light turns red, he stops, figures out what needs to be done to get a green light, and then he continues. And I'm sure that whatever he is ripping out in the East Wing to build what he wants and other presidents will want and other presidents did want for 150 years, he will modernize it and make sure it's even better than it was before. At a cost of $200 million to him and other Americans that want to pay for it. They're not asking anybody to give tax money that should be going to something else. It just proves to me even more than ever the President of the United States should not live at the White House. Go live somewhere where you're safe, secure, and able to do your job. If you're not at the White House, go work at the White House, but be somewhere else. And it should be the same for everybody else. Go work your job at the White House. At the end of the day, go home. Okay? It's an old, outdated faction that the president should live at the White House. Take that money that you pay for the president to live at the White House and pay them to live at home for 4 years. Okay? Just go live somewhere else. I mean, I know you need to be near the helicopter to get to Joint Base Andrews to go anywhere in the world. In that jet, you have to fly around for free. It's true. Why the hell do you need the White House? You know, everybody carries a phone these days, so everybody can be reachable. I'm sure the White House Communications Agency is a master at how to reach the president. Excuse me for sniffling. But I am just so ticked off about how stupid people in our government can be. Not going to do anything until the goddamn plane falls out of the sky. Scared me for a minute. Because I know people who make their living taking care of people on planes in the sky. And I would lose my mind if the plane that they were on all of a sudden came out of the sky and fell. Because Chuck Schumer and company don't want to do anything. It means that the Democrats have presented to the United States government that planes are not safe. Because if there's any risk of a plane falling out of the sky, they should be up there taking care of it right now. And taking care of it for free. Because none of those people, I don't care, Republicans, Democrats, whatever, if you're in the House and you're in the Senate, you should not get paid. And as I said, you should not get paid. Not the people that work for you in the House or the Senate, you. If you folks can't get it together and pass something, then maybe we don't need you anymore. We need to maybe figure out another way to make our views known and hopefully to people that know that they represent us. They don't represent them. No more hearing about these people that started $175,000 a year and all of them become worth $264 million. I don't want to hear it. Okay? Because I make $14,000 a year and I got to fight with everybody else to make sure I get a little bit more 1 year. And that Medicare doesn't take it away from me or somebody else or something else. Okay? When you live in my world, you deal with my problems, then I'll start to give you the respect that you need. AOC saying back when she first got elected, I don't know how I'm going to live on $174,000 a year. And me saying, well, you know, if you really want to find out, You live on my income and I'll live on yours. And I'll be living a hell of a lot nicer with people that I love and can take care of. I just don't want to hear it anymore. Get your heads out of your rectums, sign the continuing resolution clean, not anything else. Reopen the government. Then, like I said, you want to go into a room in the government and fight it all out, do whatever you want to do that. But don't you dare say to me, we're not going to do anything until planes fall out of the sky. I could name names of friends on Facebook that work on planes. I mean, they work inside of a plane that's in the air. And you're telling me that they're at risk. Who the hell do you think you are? Sign the continuing resolution. Make sure those people that take care of planes are there to make sure that plane doesn't fall out of the sky. I know things happen every now and then, and a plane might just fall out of the sky. But do your damnedest to make sure that there aren't people there to deal with it. Do your damnedest to make sure there are air traffic control towers fully stocked and working. Do your damnedest to make sure there are people on the ground taking care of those planes to make sure they don't fall out of the sky. Who the hell do you think you are? Stupidest thing I have ever heard. Double V is for victory. This Boogie with the Bull is going to come to an end. Because if I stay on much longer, I'm going to start using language that will probably get me kicked off. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. On Facebook, it's my profile and wherever we pass it around. And on YouTube, it's right there on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. And maybe someone will see me getting so mad and animated and start paying me big bucks. But I don't do this for big bucks. Okay? I don't do it for fame either. And when I can't afford to do it, we may have to stop doing it because we don't ask you for money. Okay? We don't. God takes care of me as God needs to take care of me, and we'll be here as long as we're able to do it. You know that. You can count on it. Why? Because I enjoy doing it, that I'll find something to make a broadcast out of. But having to come on and yell at the legislative branch who can't get their heads out of their rear ends and aren't even listening to this thing anyway, and I'm not able to go to them and yell at them like I wish I could, but they wouldn't listen to me anyway. Get your heads out of your rectum. 7 of you Republicans or independents, non-Republicans, whatever the hell you are, side with the Republicans, sign the clean, continuing resolution, open the government, and let's get back to work. Because now we have to make sure that within a month, we're not going to shut down again. So like I keep saying, get us on fiscal years that we don't ever have to worry about this again. You're so damn concerned about the $174,000 or bonuses that you get if you are a leader that you need all of that. Well, you need all of that. Show us you need all of that. Do what we pay you to do. Don't ever, ever, ever let an American citizen hear you say, the party's not going to do anything until planes fall out of the sky. Because if that's true, I hope the Democrat Party comes to an end. I hope it just comes to an end. Primary every Democrat you know, even if there is a good one. Because all the good ones will become Republicans. Then you can primary the rest of them. As I said earlier, if I was in New York and it was AOC versus Chuck Schumer for Chuck Schumer's seat, I'd vote for AOC at this point. I'd pray to God that there was a Republican that we could vote for. Same thing in New York. You have to decide if Zohan Mamdani or Cuomo is the better of two evils. Well, vote for Curtis Sliwa, and you won't have to worry. Or find someone that you can vote for that has a chance of getting elected that will clean up New York and make sure that you don't ever have to deal with this question again. I'm 63 years old, and this is the first time in my life that I actually think I've ever seen our government shut down. That's obviously not the first time, but I'm paying attention to it this time. We have children that work hard that could lose their jobs. I just don't want to hear it anymore. Okay? I think I have gone from being a Republican to being an American and just saying, hey, I need somebody up there in Washington, D.C. who will do the things they know they need to do so that me and mine don't have to worry. If you can't do it, get the hell out of there, regardless of what party you're from. End the parties as far as I'm concerned. The House and the Senate should not be Republicans and Democrats. They should be Americans. Just fill the chambers with Americans that hopefully will do the job because they are Americans. Not because they're Republicans, not because they're Democrats, not because they're independents. You can't really decide which side they are. And that's the craziest thing I've ever heard too. These people call themselves Americans and they vote with the Democrats. Or they call themselves independent and they vote with the Republicans. You are who you vote with. You know, it just means that you think you're free to vote with whichever one. Well, if you can be an independent and you can truly read the issue, learn about the issue, and then decide who you're going to vote with, well, then the rest of them can do it too. And instead of being independents, you can be Americans. I'm so upset I can't even speak right today. And my 15 minutes has gone to 34 minutes this time. We are podcasting all the Boogie With The Bulls everywhere I can. So everybody gets a chance to read them or hear them. Okay? We put it on MeWe in our MeWe groups. And we asked people who are members of our MeWe groups that have MeWe groups on Facebook. Every time you post on Facebook, go put it on MeWe in the group. Every time you post on MeWe in the group, I hope you come over to Facebook and you post it there. And if you can't, tell me and I'll make sure it's posted on Facebook. That's really where I am right now. There are great people in the world, and they will do their best for you if you give them a chance. There are total douchebags. You've never heard me use that word, I think, on a broadcast, but there are total douchebags who will do everything they can to destroy what we have. Okay? There's a big, beautiful internet out there, and I'm going to find places to put Boogie With The Bull on. I'm going to find places to write commentary. I'm going to find places that I can invite people to write commentary. There's a bigger world than just YouTube and Facebook. And I guess it's time and it's the day that I realize this is true. The people in Washington, D.C. work for you. You do not rely on the people in Washington, D.C. to do something and say maybe it's okay for you. Because like I said this morning, gun control. Yeah, they need to control who has guns and why. And if they can't do that, then there's no gun control. Because they don't want you to have a gun. So everybody else that has a gun can deal with you. Or they can run around the country thinking they're doing good while they carry a gun and have people with guns protecting them. I just don't want to hear it anymore. I really just don't want to hear it anymore. Why can't we do what needs to be done? We're complaining about who's paying for big, beautiful presidential ballrooms at the White House. And we're complaining about who's going to control $1.5 trillion of your tax money. And probably put most of it in their pockets anyway. It's time, people. It's well past time. Realize what's going on. And if your elected representative isn't doing what they're supposed to be doing right now, then don't send them back. Find one that will. Okay? And redistricting is not the answer, because in 4 years they'll redistrict it again, or whatever the next census is, they'll redistrict it again. And don't even get me going on censorship, other than the only good thing Governor Newsom did was veto Senate Bill 771, which would have given the California state legislature, which is a Republican state legislature, the right to go anywhere on the internet, see anything that you did, and find the social media network and require that your algorithm gets changed so people don't hear it. Bullcrap. This is the internet of the United States. This is the United States online. You have the same freedom of speech as you have anywhere else in the United States. And if Gavin Newsom and company doesn't like it, well, too bad for them. Because I'm sure we could find $500 million or $500,000 and $1 million fines if their algorithms aren't changed. Every time they open their mouths, and they open their mouths more times than we open ours. Okay? Free speech, open-minded. We have a right to say what we want to say because they think they have a right to say what they want to say. And they think they can do whatever they want to do. They work for you. They work for me. They work for us. And it's not working. So maybe the question is to ask President Trump whether or not we need them, or if there's a better idea. Because these people on both sides can't figure out a way to make this happen. And the Democrats are just running around giving you distractions. And then saying, hey, if they really cared, the Republicans would do something. No. The Democrats want to break rules and call the ball and take it and control the game their way. It doesn't work that way. It just does not work that way. So if you're a Democrat and you're coming up for re-election, you might get primaried, as they call it, where someone else from your party is going to run against you. Republicans may run against you. Americans may run against you. I don't know what. But if you can't get your signature or whatever on the clean continuing resolution and show your approval for it, then you don't belong up there. Waiting forever to get this passed just doesn't work. Putting the people who voted for you at risk just doesn't work. Telling me that you got to get your paycheck to support you and your family, and we who elected you don't get our paychecks and support our families is bullcrap. And this whole thing is stupid because you guys in the House and in the Senate don't even deal with the Affordable Care Act for insurance. You have Senate care, House care, Congress care, whatever you want to call it. And you get it for free because we give it to you. We're required to give it to you. I don't know why. You should have the same insurance that we have. I'm tired of this. We passed for thee, but not for me. Bullcrap. 42 minutes, we've come up to more than we wanted to do on 3.0. Like I said, I don't know if there will be another one later in the day or not. Anybody who sees it is welcome to join it. All you have to do is ask. And I'll send you a link if I didn't make plans with you to already send you a link. Don't care who you are. Don't care what you think about me or what you don't think about me. Just come on, have some fun, and let's do it. And at the end, if you want to go back to hating me, then go back to hating me. That's your problem. I don't hate anybody. I don't have time to hate anybody. I just look for people who think the same way that I do and hope that maybe we can mesh together and take control of our country with the help of a president who wants to take control of this country and do things that need to get done, both in this country and around the world. So I'll end this broadcast by saying the best of wishes, thoughts, and prayers to Donald Trump, President and First Lady Melania Trump, and everybody involved in the Schumer Shutdown. I just pray that you'll get it all figured out. And don't ever let me hear the Democrats from their side of the aisle say, we won't do anything until a plane falls out of the sky. I do not want to hear it. That just tells me that you have given up and you're not going to do anything. And that just makes me want to hold on to the $1.5 trillion that you want in new spending that you can do whatever you want with. We shouldn't give it to you. Period. I couldn't even say maybe when planes fall out of the sky, because I just don't want to ever see that happen, because you didn't allow something to be done to that plane to make sure it didn't fall out of the sky. There are people in towers to make sure that it didn't fall out of the sky. There are people working in the factories that build the planes to make sure that we're flying on planes that don't fall out of the sky. I wouldn't even put an illegal immigrant on a plane that I thought would fall out of the sky. I just wouldn't do that. I'm so mad about hearing that I just can't even think about anything else. I really can't. And I don't get mad. While I wasn't getting mad, I was having a good time doing these. I was looking for reasons to do more than one in the course of the day. But they have just proven how stupid they are. And everybody on the Democrat side that agrees with that statement ought to just get up and leave. Give up your seat and leave. Double V's to victory. This Boogie with the Bull 3 has come to an end. It'll be on Facebook, as everywhere I can post it. On Facebook, it'll be on my profile. On YouTube, it's on the Boogie With The Bull YouTube channel, and it will get shared around the internet everywhere I can share it from there. And if you know of somewhere it should get shared, as long as it's a free network, I will share it. If it's a fee-based network, then I got to deal with whatever I got to deal with. Because I'm not going to ask you for money to put me on paid networks. I don't ask money from you to put me on free networks. So just when we can't do it, we won't do it anymore. But then again, I'm sure someone else will still pick it up and continue to do it. So seeing Real Cat Turd in the live chat makes me very happy. I wish other people were in the live chat right now and could tell me whatever they're thinking, or ask me for the link so they could come on the program and tell me what they were thinking. And it might even go over an hour, which is the limit for more people. Okay? Because I wish that there was a Democrat that would come on right now and tell me my party's not going to do anything until a plane falls out of the sky. Stupidest thing I have ever heard. I'm going to go back to watching stupid Democrats on the internet and find the next reason to do a Boogie with the Bull. Maybe. Or I'll write commentary everywhere that people can read it, and hopefully more and more people will write commentary that shows how stupid that side of the aisle has become. Approve the clean, continuing resolution that allows us to go until sometime in November. Like I said, there's not much time left. We might as well just extend the shutdown till forever, because Democrats just want to be stupid. And I do not think there's any Democrat that doesn't want to do anything until planes fall out of the sky. I think there are 7 of you that will hear that statement and say, hell no, I'm done. Pull out of being told what you can do by Chuck Schumer and show Chuck Schumer what you can do. Side with the Republicans, give us 60 people, 60 Americans that just want to get back on track, get the government reopened, and then you can go in a room, like I said, and battle it out until you can battle it out. Stupid. 49 minutes into what was supposed to be a 15-minute broadcast. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. On Fridays, we salute the military, the men and women of the military. We salute the men and women of ICE, the men and women of the National Guard, the men and women of state and local law enforcement, and your friendly neighborhood first responder and their families. So if you're the family of someone in the military or in ICE or in any of the ones we mentioned or anywhere else, you're welcome to come on and talk about your loved one. And if you are the loved one, you're welcome to come on and talk about your family. Talk about every American you know and why you do what you do. People are just infuriating me. And really quickly, I can see 15-minute broadcasts are going to turn into an hour. And then they're going to turn into more than an hour, because there's going to be stuff like, we're not going to do anything until planes fall out of the sky. Stupid things being said every day. Or stupid people bringing up, wherever they can bring it up, we shouldn't be spending tax money to build the ballroom at the White House. Read read. And if you can't read, talk to an AI and learn what you should read, I guess, and then go and read it. They're not all out to get you, AIs. Or just read the research, because it's there. They find it. So if they can find it, you can find it. Read, listen, understand what's going on before you open your mouth and make stupid statements like, we're not going to do anything until a plane falls out of the sky. It'll be a sad day for America when that plane falls out of the sky. And like I said, I got friends that ride planes a lot, and I have friends that work on planes a lot. And I hope they all heard that statement and aren't going to fly anymore and aren't going to allow anybody else to fly anymore. You are too important to be stuck as a pawn in a game that you don't even control. I don't know who controls the game, but let the politicians in the House and the Senate play the games, and then let the president decide whether or not he's going to sign it or not sign it, and then hope that if he doesn't sign it, that they don't override it anyway. We're not going to do anything until planes fall out of the sky. I would never say that. Double V's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast has come to an end because I'm so mad that I'm going to reach an hour, and you don't need to see how mad I am. I'll probably find something else on the internet that will make me mad. And in the time I have, I'll come on and say something about it too. But that will go down as the all-time award winner for making me mad. My party's not going to do anything until the plane falls out of the sky. Double V's for victory. I am done. Come see me tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, like I said. You won't see me on this Saturday because I'm busy and I can't do the broadcast at 10 a.m. Maybe later, but I can't do it at 10 a.m. And tonight being Thursday, I can already tell you that there will not be a 7 o'clock p.m. broadcast tonight. I do want you to watch Michael Anthony, and in particular, if you want to learn more about chemtrails and climate control, because all that crap is still going on. And it's Thursday, so I don't know if the American Rebellion will be on tonight, but it's a good show to watch. And I share it as much as I can when I see it on, or I remember that it's on. And because of dementia kicking in my head, I don't always remember it at 7 o'clock. Pay attention to the things you should pay attention to. Talk to your children. Talk to your grandchildren. Talk to your friends. Make time to do that. Life isn't just politics on Facebook or on YouTube. Find other things to talk about, other things to watch on YouTube. I love listening to music on YouTube. I have some things I listen to almost every time I'm on, just because I like them so much. Anyway, I'm Dave Glovin. You're not. A little sniffly today. Double V's for victory. This Boogie with